This comment comes from another video of a content creator that's a white woman. In it, she was talking about a song by Hayley Williams entitled True Believer. It's a song about what really goes on in America, and specifically white America. And if you haven't heard it, definitely check it out. In the video, she was talking about how the song references strange fruit. It was a song that was written by a Jewish immigrant. It was sung by Billie Holiday. And there were all these people asking, what strange fruit? They didn't know what strange fruit was. They didn't know what that was. They didn't know that it was a metaphor for a black person who's been lynched. That's strange fruit. And if you don't know a lot about the song, definitely look into that. I don't want to get into a lot of it right now. But she talked about things that white people do not teach their white children about race and racism. And while that's true, there's something else that I wanted to talk about in regards that relates to strange fruit. There's dumbing down and whitewashing, and I have stories of both. Sometimes the two can be related. But in the case of music, I'm going to look at an example of dumbing down. One of the things I talk about is the passing of the Telecommunications Act and how it allowed for big companies to just buy radio stations and buy TV and dictate what music that everybody was hearing. And so what started to happen was with young people, you were only hearing new music or you were only seeing new television shows. Now, of course, there's a lot of factors that went into that, but this is something that was definitely prevalent in, say, the early 2000s on. I'll give a quick example. I was doing a workshop with a musician and he was demonstrating a march and he starts playing the theme to the Mickey Mouse Club to demonstrate. Here's a march. And then I turned to another musician and said, I don't think those kids know that song. Because if you watch the Disney Channel in the 2000s, they didn't show any old Disney. They didn't show any Mickey Mouse Club. Hell, they didn't even show new Mickey Mouse Club. You didn't see any old Disney cartoons, any old Disney movies. All you saw were new shows and nothing else. And that happened on a lot of television stations, and that happened in the case of radio, where in a lot of cases you were only hearing new songs, and you weren't hearing any old songs unless somebody was going to play them for you or expose you to those songs. You weren't hearing those songs. So consequently, what starts to happen is that you start to have, like, for example, a big content creator who doesn't know who Prince is. That happened. So strange fruit, I mean, you have young people that don't even know who the band Earth, Wind, and Fire was. So I don't expect them to know about strange fruit. Should they? Absolutely. But that's an example of a bigger case of dumbing down. Now, I do have a story about strange fruit and the singing of it and white women. Yeah, all of that. There was a white woman who was a vocalist who made a post on Facebook. And what she said was, if anybody requests for me to sing the song Strange Fruit, I will turn that down and I will tell you no. That is not my story to tell, and I'm not going to get my lily white ass up there singing that song. Those were her words. So in the comment section, I responded, so I guess you don't like Annie Lennox's version, to which she posted the shock face emoji. Yeah, Annie Lennox recorded that song. And it was rather tone deaf, to be honest. And here's the thing. She was asked about this, because I happened to look this up. She was asked about singing Strange Fruit, and she whitewashed the song by saying it was about violence and how there's violence all over the world, and there's violence against women, and it's important to tell the story. And I'm thinking to myself, so the lynching of black people, which is in a lot of cases were caused by white women, and then you would have families, white families, have picnics to witness lynchings. That's worldwide? That was a worldwide thing? So that's an example of whitewashing. What she did, that's whitewashing the whole thing and not talking about what that song was really about. Now, as far as the other singer, who's totally cool, the only question I have is, why would a person request for her to sing that song? Like, really?